No, we've been live all this time.
How long have we been live for?
20 seconds. Sounds like a face out.
Good sound, bad sound? Good
Well,
sound,
I don't know.
sound?
It's different, but people are saying hello,
Sound is
everyone.
bad. Stop playing, please, and get to the Q&A. There we are. So
Phasey. Somebody saying it sounds out of phase.
It can't sound out of phase because we're only using one microphone, aren't we? I don't understand.
No, we using two lapels, don't we? It's all good. It's all good. Use some headphones and you'll be fine.
Cool. Well, look, it's a live stream.
Hey, today.
If you want the best audio quality, just go and watch one of the regular videos that we're putting up on these guitars. But hey, okay,
Yes.
So it's Q&A. Pete and I have now had hands on pretty much every single one of the new Les Pauls that we've had. So I think we're in a good position now to start answering questions. We have one guitar that may arrive actually halfway through this live stream, which is the Modern.
Yeah.
So you'll see that as like an exclusive. So stay tuned for that.
Modern, that's straight out of the box.
But hey, let's pick a question at random, Pete. Left-handers, you're saying special order, but Gibson saying no. Right, I have been told that Gibson are currently trying to add the left-handed stock codes to their system so that people will be able to order them. And I've been told that in 3 or 4 months' time, provided that people do special order them, the lefties should start arriving.
Great.
That's just
that is good.
What
and is that of anyone? Is that of any model?
That's what I
as
believe.
far as we know.
As far as
so
I'm
there
aware.
we go. We don't have the Modern yet. Esteban, who's about written that for about 50 million times.
Right. Any difference between the 2018 and the 2019 studio? That is a good shout. What's the problem?
It's fine. I'm just going to turn this down over here. I think we got some. It's like the radio. You can hear it from. I'm tethered to.
I'm tethered.
I'm tethered.
It's like Pete loves being tethered. I don't think there's a lot of difference between the 2019 studio, i.e. the one that's just been discontinued, and the new one. We've just done the video on the new one.
Yeah.
490.
The studio has got that's the one there. It doesn't have the binding anymore around the neck.
Shout. Absolutely.
There's a few little bits and pieces that's been changed because we just checked it out in the store, and that was the main thing I kind of noticed with it.
It would be easier for us to answer questions on kind of what are the differences between models in this range rather than models that we don't have. But we'll do our best to answer any questions. Right, how much is the one Lee is playing, and is it a satin neck? Okay, so this is the new 2 pickup Tribute Junior.
Yeah.
Called the Special, I believe.
Love that guitar.
Yes, it's completely satin, all mahogany, but completely satin. And I believe these were about $850, something like that. But hey,
yeah,
that's in UK money. If you're not sure what they are in your country, I guess go and find a dealer that's selling one.
Here's your single P91. Same. Looks a bit purple in this light.
That was brilliant. Franklin Gapper said, any blue ones? And you picked a blue one.
And I picked a blue one. It looks a little bit purple actually in this light.
Yeah.
I was noticing that earlier, but same guitar. I think it's about $759, something like that.
Both these models are available in that blue if you like it.
It's a great
Will
color.
there be a cheap faded version like in 2018? The lowest priced one in the range is that single pickup Junior.
Yeah, and then you jump up to the Tribute.
And you know, I think that's the way it should be. I'll be honest with you. So here's the first bit of subjective stuff. I don't really like it when Gibson USA try to make cheap guitars. For me, you know, cheap, whatever you want to define as
affordable.
Cheap, well, like let's say cheap, like less than £500 or £600.
Yes,
that's the domain of the Far East.
I agree.
You want to mass produce, you want to make a guitar, and you want to make that kind of. Don't bother trying to do it in America because, or any Western developed country, because it'll just be, or Japan. You know, like. Don't do it where the labor force is expensive, because otherwise the only way you can make a really affordable guitar in America is to literally spend half an hour making it.
Yeah.
And then it'll just be awful.
Yeah.
So I quite like the fact that they've gone, look, the double cut single pickup Junior, it is the most affordable one in the range, but that's because they are the easiest ones to build. And that's why that's reflected in the price. Anyway, if you guys could only pick one of the range, which one would you buy? Good question, Jono. I think it was. Well, I think it was the unburst.
Yeah, the unburst
I liked
one.
The unburst standard.
I'm down with this. Which was that? No, this is not the factory
That's Heritage
burst.
Cherry.
Heritage Cherry. The factory burst is the custom shop one.
Yes,
but
that's right.
Absolutely, these are great. But I would pick the 51. Somebody asked about the 50s versus the 60s.
Yeah,
which we did a video on. It's out, so if you want, like, you know, listen to the sounds and all that stuff in a proper mic'd up environment, you can go and check that video out. Neck size is the different. 50 is a bit more chunky. Different tuners, different pickups.
Somebody's asked if these are 1 or 2 piece bodies, and I'm not sure that. I mean, certainly Gibson don't sort of commit in terms of spec wise. I think.
That's difficult to tell.
I think there's a
careful
seam on this that might suggest it's a 2-piece body.
It looks like a 2-piece top anyway. Look,
yeah. I mean, they're always going to be a 2-piece book match top. Otherwise, you don't get the symmetry of the flame.
Flame on. It looks like this looked like 1 piece, you know.
Yeah,
but it could be down here, couldn't it?
The seam is so good normally that you struggle to see. I think. Can you see here? There's definitely. Yeah, that's 100%. That's 2-piece.
Yeah.
That's on a what's that? That's on a classic though. So it's on one of the.
We haven't got the P90s one, unfortunately. That got sold. They got just ripped off the way.
We sold in the first 48 hours of going live with this new range about 3 times what we forecast we would. So we have run out of some of the models.
Isn't that incredible?
The model that I really, really wanted to show you, and it's gone already, are all the SGs with the vibrola.
Yeah.
And the Maestro.
They would.
Especially as, get this, how weird is this? There is an SG tremolo where the tremolo works by moving the arm vertically. So not towards and away from the body like you would with the traditional one, actually up and down. It still makes the, which I've never even tried one. So I'm really keen to know how that works.
You would play and then you like do that on the weird, isn't it?
It is weird.
Well, I'm looking forward to trying those when we get them in at some point.
The other thing I would have as well, given that I already own a really nice Les Paul.
Yeah.
I probably would also be inclined to look at one of the P90.
Absolutely.
I don't have a guitar like that.
Single pickup P90 guitar. Absolutely, 100%.
Let's have another question. What's the real difference? Where's that question just gone?
That's the problem.
it just disappeared off the screen before. Oh no, what's the real difference between the Studio and the Tribute? I don't know what you mean by what's the real difference. I mean, the difference is that the Tribute doesn't have a gloss lacquer. It has a satin nitro lacquer. The Studio has the gloss lacquer.
It has a push-pull on the Studio.
You got different pickups,
splits,
a different case with it,
yeah.
different machine heads.
Yeah.
So quite a lot of differences.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean that one guitar is better than the other. You'll just prefer one or other, but lots of differences. One P90 or two P90s, what would you buy?
I would buy two.
Yeah, I don't know. We did the video of the P90 ones, and we did a scientific, or as scientific as we could get it, experimenters, by only having one pickup on the guitar. Does it make that pickup louder than when you have two pickups?
Yeah.
And we found not.
No.
So I would suggest that, yes, I think I probably would just go with two pickups as well.
So Lee, here's the question. Somebody has just asked the question that everybody wants to know about, and we need to address. Are they heavy?
All right. Well,
we did it in a video earlier, which is not out yet, but
I want to do like a weight relief rant, not weight relief rant, a weight rant.
So hold your questions for about 50 minutes while we rant about weight.
So, okay. So back in the 50s and the 60s, when trees were not very many electric guitars were being made. There wasn't this sense of, an environmental crisis by cutting down all the rainforests. So trees were used for guitars that were from trees that had been allowed to grow slowly and naturally over time. And also there wasn't the demand for it. So people weren't having to buy them, tons and tons at a time. You would just buy a small quantity of timber to make guitars. And as guitar manufacturing grew, and so the demand for that wood increased, and also as people began to become environmentally aware that we couldn't just chop down, thousands of hectares of forests all the time and, not realize that we're going to run out of forests, people started to move over towards sustainable timber production. So essentially having dedicated forests planted where they would heavily water the soil, use fertilizer, etc., to get trees to grow faster. And then one of the consequences of that is that the mahogany that begun to be used in guitar manufacturing from the sort of 70s onwards was heavier. So Gibson went, well, what do we do about these guitars that have become a little bit heavier? I know what we'll do is we'll start weight relieving them. And so you began to see in the 80s this concept of, guitars with more wood drilled out of them to get the lightness. Yeah. I'm not convinced that, some of the Les Pauls that I've tried from the 70s, where they were using the sandwiches of the mahogany with the sort of walnut in the middle of it, and we're getting up to like, 11 pounds, whatever, are properly sort of concretey.
I had a 1976 Les Paul, and it was heavy, but it wasn't crazy heavy. But it was definitely.
But I would say the difference between, say, a Les Paul now that you would consider to be light, i.e., like an old Les Paul or a custom shop Les Paul, where they are still able to pick out those pieces of wood that they're looking for. Versus, say, the guitar that you're holding there, Les Paul Standard with no weight relief, it's about a pound difference. Isn't it?
This is not heavy.
Are you going
it's
between like 8 and 9 pounds? So I'm sort of sitting here going,
heavy at all. I mean, it's Gibson.
Really, if you're going to moan, or not moan, I'm sorry, I don't want to say you're moaning. I know most of you aren't. But if you really, really want to sort of go, oh, I can't possibly play a guitar that's 9 pounds as opposed to one that's 8 pounds.
Yes.
I just think you should watch a film about like SAS soldiers that run around with like 50-pound backpacks on their backs and run marathons, or people who work on building sites and
who's just getting wheelbarrows with cement in it.
It's like, it's literally, are you that guy that goes to the supermarket and has to take a bag of sugar out of his, trolley because he can't push it around anymore because it's too heavy? So, and
my jumper's too heavy.
At the end of the day, if you have a back complaint and you find that by standing with a guitar on a strap for a couple of hours, a 9-pound guitar versus an 8-pound guitar is debilitating, then totally get it. Don't buy the 9-pound guitar. But I can tell you from when I went shopping for my 58 Les Paul, which is over here.
Do you want to hold that for a minute?
Oosh. here she is.
Here's the
Beautiful
bird.
guitar. I 100%. I was going through that phase where, you know, people like Mick Taylor, who I love, told me that, you know, it's all about light guitars. Everything's about light guitars. So anyway, we had 10 of these in stock on the day that I chose this.
Yeah.
And they were all weighed, and I was like, oh, I hope I get the 8-pound one.
I like
that's the one. And I went through them all, and I realized during that the weight of the guitar bore absolutely no correlation to whether I like the sound of it or not.
Yeah.
And the one that I like, and so I just decided in the end, I have to buy the one that I like the sound and the feel of the best, regardless of the weight. And so that's what I bought. And it's actually about a 9-pound guitar. It's about the same as the guitar you're holding.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Yeah, this is about the same.
It's not like, so I don't really have, I try not now to get too wound up about buying a guitar that's a certain weight. I just know that I need to buy a guitar that just I like.
And can I just ask a question out there for all of you guys sitting out there now? How many people buy a guitar and actually takes it out for stand up with it on a gig? Who compared to who? Do you know what I mean? So you buy a guitar. I bet you 90% that buys a Gibson will sit down with it at home on their sofa and jam.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But you know what I mean? It's the most. Even if you go rehearse with your band, you'll sit down.
I still think if you've got a physical reason to need a light guitar, then that's fair enough. You know, if you physically, but then, you know, maybe the kind of guitar that you should be looking to buy is a, you know, what's like almost like a completely like an Epiphone Casino or like a completely hollow, whatever. But that's fine. But I just think this idea that somehow,
see, most people say this sitting there.
You know, so I just see that somehow this idea that a light guitar guarantees a better tone or performance than a heavy guitar is just not. And the like flip way, I don't think that necessarily, I mean, a heavy guitar guarantee. It just whether a guitar is light or heavy is just.
If you like the guitar.
If you like, yes.
If you like the guitar, then play the guitar. Oh, Delta, thank you very much.
Anyway, let's move on from the
Thank you, Delta. Somebody asked me if I like licorice, salty licorice, because I'm from Denmark. Yes, I do.
He loves it.
Turkey's pepper. If you want to send any licorice like that, just send it in. Absolutely.
Right.
I leave it all on screen.
Question. Hi, Captain and Pete. Oh no, hang on. What would you choose? Oh, I think somebody did the whole Les Paul PRS. What would you choose? My colours are firmly nailed to that mast.
Yes, but it's completely. We talked about this before about being, you know, if you are a carpenter or you are a, what do you call it, a worksman that comes and does, a plumber, electrician, whatever. You can't just have one tool. I know a lot of people go, oh, that's expensive, and I'm going to buy the one with the thing, and they can sound like a single coil and do that stuff. I think every guitar has a purpose for me.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to excuse to buy another guitar.
Yeah.
But I think have the single coil guitars. The Telly sounds different from a Strat. And Les Paul sounds different from a 594 because it's all different.
I get it though. You know, PRS definitely, you know, they went out of their way to employ Ted McCarthy to do a different scale length, single cut mahogany. You know, they try. So I get why people would go. So which one should I buy, PRS or Gibson? I would still say for me, my favorite PRSs have all been the ones where they're just trying to be their own thing, like Paul's guitar. I mean, this which is a wonderful PRS guitar.
Paul's actual
real wonderful guitar. But for me, if I want a Les Paul, I just want a Les Paul. It's a thing.
So you've got.
That's a bit naughty, isn't it?
It is very naughty, this, isn't it? But this is check this out. We talked about earlier. When I flip this around, let's have this. Have a look at this and this. You flip that around.
Yeah.
This is what I was mentioning in a video earlier.
Who copied who? Hey, just saying.
Huh?
But whatever.
And there's a sticker on here already. It gets to my house, and then there's a sticker on it.
Another question then. If you found an Epiphone that sounded the greatest ever, would you buy it and play it, or does it have to have the Gibson name on it?
I would buy an Epiphone. Absolutely.
Yeah, it would not. I think it would not bother me at all if it was the best sounding Epiphone ever. Same as if it was the best Squire ever or whatever. It doesn't bother me at all.
If you pick a guitar up, you go, that's really good. then and you can afford to buy it, why not buy it? I mean, if it's 7-8 grand, then maybe not. But a lot of people have got that kind of money. That's a completely different. Which Epiphone then? There's loads of great ones.
Which Epiphone? Well, that's you know, right now in the Epiphone range, that the bulk of the Epiphone range are designed to be affordable licensed versions of the Gibson ones. So you wouldn't necessarily expect to find an Epiphone that would outperform a Gibson. It would kind of be like not the point.
Yeah.
But if you did, good for you.
But
spend the money on something else.
Exactly.
Drugs and hookers normally. Isn't it? Don't do that.
Master Bill. Somebody said Gibson should do a relict line.
Well,
but the VOS,
they do relics.
Yeah, they do relics.
A lot of the collector's choice.
Collector's choice.
Was,
10 Danish kroners. I didn't see what it was. I need to get the computer over here so I can I can do the whole thing. Like,
oh, that's all right.
Thank you.
Epiphone.
It goes so quickly.
Oh man, yeah, right. Stop asking questions. No, it's fine.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Are the P90s a new design? No, I don't believe it. Not. I mean, the P90 is an ancient design pickup because it predates the humbucker.
It does. My God, quick. There's so many questions.
I always. this is driving me mad. We're going to have to do something here.
Yeah.
How do we stop this?
Look,
Can I do it on my phone?
No, you hold that.
Yeah.
You don't hold that. This is gonna be a little.
You got to stand right behind you.
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
Hey,
sorry,
Stan.
It's purely and simply because as fast as we can.
No, I'm saying I'm going to have to unplug this now, so you get a little click. You
look like Gail Tilsley. Isn't she from Coronation Street? And I look like her. Fair enough. I think that's. I don't think that's a great compliment. That one. Well, anyway, less wood is not less good. Save the trees. I'd be inclined to agree. Less wood is not less good. In the same way that more wood is not more good. It's just a good guitar can be anything if it comes together and makes magic. We need more single P90 Les Pauls. I don't know. Do we need more? I mean, there are some. Come on, I want proper good questions. How do we order the left-handed versions? Right. Okay. Left-handed, you can't order them right now because Gibson haven't given us the product codes yet, but I am told that they're working on that right now. So as soon as the product codes become available, you'll be able to order. Yes, the modern Les Paul, as soon as that arrives, we will go and see if we can grab that. That's like coming up in the next half an hour or so. How is the classic compares to the standard? There we go. There's a question. Right. So let's do the classic versus the standard. Where's Pete gone? So, okay. Obviously, I've chosen the 60s standard rather than the 50s standard. And here is the classic. So we have visually two different guitars because one, as you can see, is super flame and one is super plain. We only have one neck option on the classic, whereas you have two neck options on the standard. The standard doesn't have any of this kind of coil tappy, tippy tappy stuff, which I guess, does that make the classic better? I mean, the classic is obviously a cheaper guitar in the range. Different pickups, same machine heads as on the 60s one. So not, you know, again, not gigantic amounts of difference. There's not a big price difference. There's only like a 350 pound price difference, I think, between the two, which, to be honest with you, is quite often purely and simply the flame maple surcharge. But I can strum them. Would you like? I don't know where he's going. Oh, I see. He's got an enormously long USB cable. Yep, so that he can come back over. And now we've frozen. Yeah, because I'm just swapping up these. Oh, I see. So people can still see me, which we just can't see ourselves. Is that right? Yeah. So here we are. This is a clean. Honestly, man, you think you'd think we would we'd have thought about all this, but it's fine. But it's your fault for asking questions so fast. But hey, right, let's tune this up. There's no problems. There's only solutions, right? That's my mantra. Yeah. When Pete is knee deep in problems, I just come along and I unhelpfully say, "There are no problems, Pete. Only solutions." Yeah. Right. Take this out. So I'm going to try and play chords between the standard and the classic.
Okay.
Here we are. I'm in tune.
Oh, my hair all over.
So that's a standard, and the classic. Oosh. Same settings, same everything. Potentially not in tune because I've not tuned this one yet. Oh, this is the problem with live TV. This one isn't even nearly in tune.
Is Pete German or Austrian? Yes, both of those.
Yeah, it depends what day of the week it is.
Hey, Danish Pete, where are you from?
Holland. Okay. So here we are. One, I'll do that. So I'll go classic first and then back to the. Can you remember what the pickups are in the classic?
No, because we haven't done them yet, but I can have a look.
So anyway,
You got a question there
classic
as well.
Hang on. One standard. Standard feels heavier. Standard feels a little heavier.
Wow.
Sounds exactly the same. There is really no discernible difference.
Burst Bugger 61 and 61T. Burst Bugger 61.
Yeah. So they are exactly the same set of pickups between the standard 60s and the classic. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That would be why they sound exactly the same. The only difference, obviously, you've got no covers on the. I didn't realize that. So the classic's the 61.
That's what it says.
So the fifth, there might be a bit of a difference between the 50s then, because the 50s have got the Burst Bucker 1 and 2 in it, which is a slightly less pokey sounding pickup.
Yeah.
Anyway, next question.
There's a question there that, Anthony there,
Anthony Grillo. He contacts me on Facebook all the time. Hello, Anthony. How are you? What's up, friends? I have a 59 custom shop within my return policy. Boo. I may swap it back for the 50 standard as I can't imagine it's different now. It's a totally different guitar.
Oh, completely different. I wouldn't swap that back.
Well, it's not. They're both Les Pauls.
Yeah.
But the 59 custom shop is going to be built with a much, more of this idea of like one guy at his bench just doing the whole thing. The Les Paul standard is a more mass-produced guitar.
Yeah.
Again, you've got the thinner VOS lacquer on the
and the things that drill into here is all. It's a very different.
I mean, definitely. We've talked about this diminishing returns concept on this channel before. The difference between a £100 guitar and a £500 guitar is going to be enormous. The difference between a £500 guitar and a £1,000 guitar will still be sizable, but less. Once you get to the difference between a $2,000 and a $5,000 guitar, again, you're not necessarily talking about the same level of difference between $100 and $500, no, pounds, whatever it is. But I wouldn't start sending back your custom shop Les Pauls any minute now.
No, I wouldn't.
Especially not if you've got a good one. I mean, my 58 is this is the guitar I run into my burning house to save. It's like
before the children, of course.
No. Okay. Les Paul Radius invented the guitar neck in 1880. Oh, sorry, Paul Radius. Paul Radius invented.
Is that Paul Radius? Is that a bit of a?
Is there a joke somewhere in there? How do you invent a guitar neck anyway? Surely every guitar ever has had a neck on it.
Okay, Aaron,
do you stock any Edwards Les Pauls? No, we only stock Gibson Les Pauls. And I suspect if any solicitors are watching, just the fact that anyone other than Gibson calls it a Les Paul is illegal.
Yeah, to be careful with that.
So no such thing as a Les Paul. It doesn't say Gibson or Epiphone on the headstock.
Yeah, Anthony asked, are the new standards noticeable different than other guitars Gibson have made in the past? Something like Pete's Coil Tap.
Lots of people have said, can you hear the difference between the for example, the 2018 and the 2019 range? Or if you're completely correct with the terminology, the old range is the 2019 range, and this range has no year attached to it. So can you hear the difference? Not in the sense of like only in the sense of if the spec is different, or there's no sense that somehow Gibson have invented a new guitar here. This is a Les Paul.
Yeah.
They're every year since the 50s.
Yeah.
A Les Paul has been around. Actually, it's not true, is it? Because the Les Paul was discontinued, wasn't it, in 1960, and it became the SG for a bit. So that's not true. But anyway,
that's right with the thing. I remember. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't be rushing to, or even be disappointed if you've just bought a 2019 kind of Les Paul and all of a sudden the new ones are out, because there was nothing really wrong with those. I guess the biggest change between the outgoing 19 range and this new range is more the terminology of the standard versus the traditional. So in the outgoing range, the standard is much more akin to the modern in the new range, and the traditional in the old range would be more akin to the standard in this range. But in terms of actual quality, that yes, there have been some component changes and bits and bobs like that, but I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with a guitar.
No, but everybody tries to make improvements during the thing. So here's another one that everybody has been asking about: the bridge.
Yeah,
is it screwed directly into the thing? And I don't think it is. Not on the standard one, anyway. That was somebody that said it's not screwed straight into it. But
what you mean? Is it into some sort of?
No, screw. They will screw it straight into the thing, but I think it's sitting in these little.
Yeah, you
grommets,
get a plug, don't you?
And then the screw goes in, and then the bridge goes on top. I think where people are talking about, this is not a custom shop. Again, it's not a custom shop. They do that on your one, for instance. You see that it's screwed straight into the wood. So, so it's screwed straight into the wood. Where these ones have got, if you can see, a tiny little. Yours has got it as well. Yeah. And on my
that's what it is.
Yeah, and on my 95 classic one, which was a repro, it was a repro of the old ones back then. It's screwed straight into the wood. These ones are not. But they're not a custom shop.
But although that's surely got to be one of the yes, for authenticity's sake.
Yeah,
that's why custom shop do it. But surely, if you're just going to take like a millimeter thick screw and screw it straight into the wood, over time, or that's surely not the most.
No, it's better to have something that's in, and then you can screw that in and out as you want it. I think that's a better design. That's just an upgrade of an old design.
All the sort of the G&Ls and anything where there's like a pivot poke, like something screwed into the body, it's pretty common for it to be screwed into some sort of call it a grommet. I'd love to know what the correct word for that sort of.
Is it Wallace and Grommet?
Is it Wallace and Grommet? How does the neck on the Les Paul Tribute DC compare to an Epiphone neck? Well, obviously, I don't know if you mean in terms of the feel. The big difference, obviously, on the Tributes is they're a satin finish guitar. So, and they're a nitro, sort of very thin nitro lacquer as well. So that will have an inherently different contact to your skin in terms of feel.
And it'll wear down. Where if it's not,
whereas if you've got Epiphone where they'll have a polyurethane lacquer on there, it's more of an encapsulated kind of finish, so it just feels different. In terms of if you mean is the size different, well, that'll depend on the guitar, because obviously within the Epiphone range there's lots of different thicknesses of neck.
Somebody says this is fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Right, what's next, Pete? Another question.
12-inch radius.
Yes, they are.
Yes,
correct.
Yes.
Like so Gibson so if we sort of take that as a, what does that even mean? So we're talking about the curvature across the fretboard.
The board.
If you take a Fender guitar, a very vintagey Fender will have a much heavier curve. Even a modern Fender has a slightly curvier kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
If you take an Ibanez or something like that, typically that'll be a slightly flatter feel.
And some of them have got compound radius, which means that you can have
though now on the Gibson range?
Maybe not, but we're just talking about maybe. We're talking about generally some guitars will have a curvature here, and it'll go different up here. you know, here to here, it changed. That's called a compound radius.
Somebody says, what sort of custom guitars do the Gibson Custom Shop create? Well, as far as I'm aware, in terms of what you can go and order as a customer, it has to be a guitar that Gibson make. You know, it has to be a shape of Gibson guitar. You can't say, you know, can you make me one in the shape of a, I don't know,
of a star.
Yeah, my favorite cartoon character or something. No, but in terms of the capability, Gibson have got the capability to make any guitar that they choose to, and obviously over the years have done some crazy shaped guitars.
Yeah. I mean, that back then when they did the Flying V and the, you know, that must have been like, what?
Yeah,
when that came out.
That wasn't even that long after the Les Paul. That was only 5 or 6 years after the Les Paul.
But then again, if you look at the cars in America at that time,
big,
you know, not the 60s, but at that time, with like massive wings and all sorts of stuff. Gibson still.
Some high-end Epiphones sound and feel better than even mid to low Gibsons. Well, I would sort of, I mean, that's subjective, but I don't think I would disagree. I've said, I do believe that, you know, there is an argument that I think when you get to that sort of £500-600, maybe up to £1,000. So if we're talking dollars, you know, we're perhaps talking $700-800 up to say $1,500, something like that. There is an interesting crossover between, do you buy a low-end American-made instrument, or do you buy a high-end Far Eastern-made instrument?
That's a thing. That's like a psychosomatic thing, isn't it? Because I think a lot of people go, you know, they'll buy because it says made in America on it, where a lot of people just go, I like the way this plays and sounds, so I'll buy that one. I don't care where it's made.
Yeah, I mean, I think PRS is a good example of, you know, something like the PRS SE Custom. Is a great guitar for £700 or £800 and much better than anything PRS could realistically make out of America.
Yeah, they wouldn't be. There'll be probably 1,400 of them that can come out of there.
So yeah, I think it's an interesting one, isn't it? I mean, as I said, if you've got these are like 750, this one, the double cup junior.
Yeah.
If you went and bought an Epiphone for that kind of money, or any Far Eastern brand for that kind of money, you would expect to get a bucket load more than just a slab body, plain single
one pickup and all that sort of stuff.
You know, you would.
This is like purple. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, whether or not, I mean, I think there's always something about an American Gibson that's got some sort of weird DNA soul in it. That
the nitro smells so wonderful.
That you still kind of want it, even though you know you could probably go and spend that money on a Far Eastern brand and get like more, but you're still want it.
But would you buy an American car for, say, a Japanese car?
I don't know American cars terribly well. We don't get many American cars over
here. But
here,
you know, like you know, like an Oldsmobile or like a Buick or something. You know, like a Cadillac.
Don't know. I haven't owned. I think every car I've owned for the last 20 years has been German.
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's funny that how some products will have a certain, German cars are the best. Boom, done. Yeah. Or, you know, anyway, rambling.
Play the guitars. Gavin Reeves says he's probably not wrong. Should we have a little bit of a jammeroo just to sort of break it up?
We can just see. Here's the
request. Which two guitars would you like us to play, everybody? And we'll see what comes through.
Clean tones from Frank. Here's the clean tones.
What are we using for? Are we just using the lapel mics for the guitars? So everything you're hearing, by the way, in this video is coming through the little lapel mics that we're wearing.
Yeah.
So as I said before,
we are sort of trying. We're tinkering with the sound, how to do it. We've got a new thing from Roland, and with the live streams, we've got the 3 cameras up. Audio we're working out. It's only the second one we're doing.
The more complicated we make the audio, the more worried we are that the bandwidth can't handle it, sort of thing. So we're trying to find it simple. But as I said, remember that the live stream videos are not the place to get the best audio from Andertons. It's you know,
at the moment it will be when we sorted it all out.
What was the verdict? A junior and a 50s Les Paul.
Somebody said
junior and a 50s Les Paul.
Well, I can play the.
I don't mind which one I play. So the
I can play this one.
Les Paul is behind you.
It's behind you. Oh no, it isn't.
You're going to put me at like a mass. So you get what you've done.
No, you got that one.
You take that one. Dearest guitar, and he's the best guitar.
No, you get that one. I'll take this one. I don't mind. I really
You know what I would
this.
like to do? I'm going to plug my custom shop Les Paul in and compare it to one.
Oh, I can plug my. I can plug my gold top in.
I haven't actually restrung my custom shop Les Paul for a while, so it might be at a bit of a disadvantage. But hey.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh.
There we go. You know who I wish was on here somewhere? There's half of me wonders if anyone who works for Gibson is watching this. Because what I would like, I want JC or Cesar or one of those guys to come over and do an interview with Andertons and talk about
this stuff.
Because I'm sort of looking at this new range and I'm going, I love it. And I love the reaction that it's getting. And I love that everyone's excited about what Gibson is doing. Yes. But I kind of want to dig the dirt. Like, what did you actually change? How has the culture at Gibson changed over the last
what is the
6 months or 12
people
months?
Getting on with each other?
Yeah. What's really there? You know,
what do you eat for lunch?
And what are your plans? You know, what's the vision? What's the future? What are you going to do with like Kramer and Steinberger and all the other like
Kramer?
Are you going to bring Valley Arts back? Or anything like that.
Valley Arts, man. Oh my goodness.
You're going to make amps. I just want to know. Obviously, it'll all be confidential and they won't say anything in public, but you never know.
Is Mark Ignacy on here?
Oh, yeah. Where's Mark? We need Mark to come over. Clash of the YouTube Titaniums.
Titanium.
I did like the fact, I do believe that Mark did repost hashtag bring back the blanket.
Well, he commented on the picture I posted on Instagram on at Mr. Pete Onway.
Can we look at the case?
Because
I want to talk about bring back the blanket.
Bring back the blanket.
People are probably going, what are you talking
about? I can't, so I haven't got mine out, but I haven't got my case, but we've got this case. So here is
So back when Pete and I were young,
hey,
in the 1930s, if you bought a Gibson guitar then, you got a case exactly like this, but then you opened it up and inside it was pink. And furry.
Oh, smell it, man.
And it had like a silk pink blanket that you used to lay over.
You pull it over this way.
Guitar.
You pull it over this way because then it wouldn't get.
And it was like, I kid you not.
And it said Gibson.
I don't think it did, but anyway, from a sales point of view, it was the clincher. If somebody had like been trying the guitar and you were like, do you want to see the case it comes with like that? They go, oh, go on, then show me the case again. As soon as you get the case and you showed them the blanket, that was literally it. I had like 100% hit rate of sales. Just because of the blanket.
I think it was
hashtag bring back the blanket.
I think it was the thing where you opened it up like this and you went, oh, and then it was still covered.
Yes, because you still.
Then you had to go. Oh, it's like a double.
It's the best.
It's like a double.
So there we go.
Oh,
I want the bring back the blanket. So there we are.
Please bring back the blanket.
Let's talk about the amp. Let's talk about the amp you're using, Pete, or the amp we're all using.
Oh, I'm using a Hot Rod Deluxe. Sorry, I'm not. I'm using oh my God, man! I'm tired. I'm using a Victory V140 with 2x12.
Is the Victory's the worst brand for
a
anyone
Danish
from Danish? Yeah, it's a Victory V140.
Yeah, with a fuzz pedal. I can't say with a Victory V140. All the V's, and I can't. Volkswagen is really terrible.
Oh, it's brilliant.
That's what I'm using. And then I've got a Boss Tuner Black Box 2 overdrive. A Dane.
We've not really featured that much. That's from a new company called Snaus.
Yeah, it's been around for a while, but it's pretty sick, man. So that's the little thing. And then we got this new Walrus audio thing here, which is just like incredible. So we're doing a loop earlier. Let me just take that away, and then I'll go like this kind of thing. Like this is live, so.
There's me going, why is my guitar not working? But apparently you still have to plug these funny things into them.
Yeah. There's loads of jams to be had.
The beauty
hours and
of
hours.
live TV, where that little note would not have made it through to the final cut had we been doing a normal video. I've got a look. It's Daddy Bear and Mummy Bear.
Oh, Daddy Bear, Mummy Bear.
So
sitting in the rain.
this is my 58, and it's like a friend. Whenever I pick this up, it has a bigger neck. It has a bigger neck than even the 50 standard does. It has different pickups in it.
We got some ground hum going on there. After I plug my laptop.
It doesn't feel any better to play at all. In fact, if anything, the chunkier neck gives it almost like it's more awkward to play. I think it sounds better, but I think in my head, I can't get away from the fact that this probably cost me £4,000. And so therefore I sort of want it to sound better.
Yeah.
So hey, look, it's all about the badge, right? It's the same reason I drive the car I have, so that I can have the key ring.
Same with me, yeah, exactly.
But hey.
The special one gone? Have we got one? No, we haven't. Somebody said I should play the special. Is that one?
That's that one. Okay. That's the special. But I'll be honest with you. Can I borrow that a second?
Yeah.
The flame on the new standard is redonkulous. Look at that. Let me see if I can
not a
hang on, my custom shop is going, hang on, get my good side. There we go. Oh man, that is a screenshot. If this is good quality, look at that. You could save that and use that as your screen. Oh, I tell you the other thing as well that has been scientifically proven is you absolutely look cooler wearing a Les Paul than not wearing a Les Paul.
Has it?
That is a scientific, undisputable fact. I'm not saying
as
opposed to another guitar brand. I'm just saying that. Look, watch this, okay? Look at me, okay? I look normal. You'd walk past me in the street. No one would give me a second glance. It's fine, like that. I do this, and literally, look at my face. Even my face changes.
I tell you what, I can't if you were like that in the middle of the street, I would walk past you faster. If you had a guitar like that in the middle of the street, I'm getting away from this.
I can't help it. It's just like it's impossible not to look cool with a Les Paul.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Here's the special here.
Don't forget we're live. Oh dear. Where's the minge? Oh, could we see if the can we see if the modern ones arrived? Do you want to play a bit and I'll just run and see if the modern ones arrived?
Oh, we got we'll just have a little
why not? You stay. I'll go. You sure? I need an excuse to go anyway.
You need to go to the toilet. Somebody's saying AFD 100. Is that your head in the background? Yeah, we're not going to plug that in. That's way too loud. I'll do a little loop here. You know what? That's a little bit out. That one. That's not good enough. That's not good enough for 1,000 people. You turned it up. Wow.
I wanted to put you were going with the vibe, and I wanted to put my vibe on and everything. And
Rob Chapman is on saying,
loud.
just ignore the trolls.
Oh man, there's some dude here spouting all kinds of crap, hate everything.
No,
it's
it's
like,
fine. I've deleted it.
Man,
it's
delete.
Please
Can
don't put your
the human.
Yeah, don't put the shit on us. We don't want to hear it. Thank you very much.
Man, I think I played a lick in that last little jam there that was the best lick I'd ever played, and I don't even know what I was playing. I have to watch this video back and work out how I even did it. But yes, the Les Paul Moderns have arrived. So this is the very, very first even for us, for you, for...
Oh, look at that top, man. It's like sparkly. I love it.
Sparkle! So,
It's sparkly.
now this is essentially...
Oh, look at.
Okay, so this is essentially, I guess in a way, kind of like what the old, you know, the old 2019 Les Paul Standard has kind of morphed into. So look at that. Someone's got an enormous ice cream scoop and just gone, don't need that bit.
Splug out. But you know what I like? So here's what I like. Focusing on this bit here. This is still sharp. See this bit? So you still get the wood contact with this bit, but you just got that little bit. It's
wood
not
to
all
wood
rounded.
contact.
Before it was rounded off, wasn't it? Like that was completely rounded off, wasn't it?
On the access heel joint, it was it was like a through necky
now
kind of thing. So it's definitely a wider neck than the other ones. Pretty thin.
Oh, smells so good, man.
And you've got all the poppy doodah stuff here that you used to get on the old Standard. So you can do your
cold, aren't they?
different coil taps and your phase reversals. You've got your locking machine heads. There's no zero nut. To be honest with you, I never really got over the fact the zero nut looks so blooming awful on.
Was that the metal thingy?
That was high performance though, wasn't it? Not.
Yes. But are they all phased out?
As far as I'm aware, yes, they are. Oh dear, I need robot tuners. or live, you're just gonna have to watch us tuning. Potentially. Oh, look at the color on that. That's like a proper old 50s candy red, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like it just looks
like it's really
great.
dark, isn't it? What have we got here? Oh
Okay,
my
so,
good lord, they all pull and push. And
what it should be is 2 coil taps.
Yes.
A thing that reverses the wiring of the neck pickup. And if I remember rightly, this is the like the blow switch. I think.
Like whale.
Exactly like a whale. And I don't know what cuts are in these. We'll have to look it up.
Oh yeah. So if I turn these down, and I go, so that's like. Oh.
I kind of want to just, can we look up a couple of features on this? Is it what are the pickups and what does it do? Because is it a rich light fretboard or an ebony fretboard or what are we doing here?
Here we go. Here I've got the specs. So 3 different finishes to get. You got one which is the sparkling burgundy top.
None of them are bursts anymore,
no,
are they?
Faded pelham blue top.
Ooh.
And the graphite top. So body is mahogany, top is maple, ultra modern weight relief, gloss nitrocellulose lacquer, neck is mahogany.
It is like
neck profile is an asymmetrical taper with a modern contoured heel.
Yeah.
Ebony fingerboards, a compound radius, medium jumbo frets, Mother of Pearl, Chrome, Nashville Tune-O-Matic, Grover locking Robo-Matic with keystone buttons. What have we got here? Burst Bugger Pro Rhythm, Burst Bugger Pro plus lead.
So what we're really saying is it's a mix really of, it's like probably the Les Paul standard high performance,
something like that,
but with a little bit less stuff on it. So really, I guess if you're looking at this guitar thinking, oh, I really like that, but I wish they did it in a more conventional burst kind of color, you're that customer that needs to run out and grab one of the last 2019 Les Paul standards or Les Paul standard high performance models. Because the new Les Paul Modern is only going to be available in these much more contemporary colors.
Smell it, Lee. Smell it. Please smell it.
Smell the glove.
Oh man, doesn't it just smell? I'm loving it.
Smells like a new guitar.
I've got a Martin OM28V, right? That would be a funny cut if this was a real video. And I just every time I open up the case, I smell it for 5 minutes before I pick it up.
Oliver, you've got more Danish money just come in.
Say rødgrød med fløde.
Lee, play the junior when you get a chance. I have played the junior before in this, but I really like the jumbo frets.
Before you do anything else, say rødgrød med fløde. What's that? That was worth 20 Danish kroners, wasn't it?
Not a lot of people realize that my grandmother's best friend was Danish.
What?
I
keep saying
I think there are too many models in the range. Really? How could there be any less models in the range? There's like 5 models in the range now, aren't there? But
yeah.
Hey.
So Gibson to release off-the-shelf custom shop models. They do that anyway, don't they?
How do you have an off-the-shelf custom model? I mean, by very virtue of the fact custom means it was custom made for a purpose.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I don't think so. Unless you mean Les Paul Customs, which of course are, you know, black with the gold hardware.
I think I'm feeling a bit lightheaded sniffing these guitars, Lee.
New Les Paul Customs this year, Captain. New Les Paul Customs this year. So the Les Paul Custom is part of the custom shop range. So that's, you know, that is just a very high quality black Les Paul with gold hardware that you can kind of get, you've been able to get before and you'll be able to get again.
Yeah. Somebody's saying, does the binding feel different?
On what? The Modern?
On these ones here? It feels the same.
Quite a sharp edge, isn't it? It's it's that extra width on the fretboard.
It doesn't feel as rolled.
Yeah.
You would have it more rolled. I don't personally don't mind at all. I like a bit of
it's not even so much it's it's the material that they've used for the bindings even different, I think, here, or it's just maybe it's just a different color, I don't know. But I never really wanted the neck on a Les Paul to be any wider than a traditional spec would be. So the Modern and the HP things, not really for me, but I know a lot of players do want that, you know, slightly more.
Yes, but
there's
ways of doing things, right? You can do it too much, like putting the not zero nut thing on and cutting the whole thing out and putting robot tuners on it, and it becomes way too much for people. This is a good thing. This is like rock. This is like just enough for it. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to give somebody just a rundown of the tones, to be honest, out of this.
Rundown of the tones.
No poker chip to tell you that you're on your rhythm or treble pickup, which
but
is, you know, if you don't know, then you shouldn't be playing guitar in the first place. Is it?
That's very hunky. That's a split. That's
so this is this sort of this myth about whether it happened on purpose or by accident to Peter Green's guitar. So this is essentially the 2 humbuckers on together, so middle position. This tone control pulled out. So now what's happening is the wiring of the front pickup is reversed. So instead of kind of working together and in harmony, it sort of creates this effect that the 2 pickups are cancelling.
Now here's my question to you. regarding that. Is that a modern thing? Or is that just a... Would that be... That's not modern. That's what Peter Green would have on his guitar. That's not a modern thing. That's
so the myth was that it happened by accident to Peter Green, but then all of a sudden he had this Les Paul that sounded different to everyone else's Les Paul, and so he was able to kind of be the guy that just had this tone that no one else could get. I mean, obviously, so so much of it's in the fingers with a guy like that. But so the idea being on this guitar is, it's like, well, you can have it either. You can have it how a normal Les Paul would be wired and sound like this on your middle setting, or you can be Peter Green. I don't think it's the nicest guitar tone I'd be able to.
No, but what I'm saying is it's not a modern feature, is it? That's more like a bluesy feature you would expect on a...
Being able to switch it is a modernish feature. But, well, not like modern,
it's
but
like
within the last...
Jimmy Page and...
But he wouldn't have had a switch on his guitar.
No, but that would be but he wouldn't have that either. Or
the asymmetrical carve...
Yeah, this is very...
is from, again... Legend has it that on one of Jimmy Page's Les Pauls, I forget whether it was number 1 or number 2, but he did the elliptical carve, which means it's shallower on the finger side and thicker on the thumb side. Hey,
what does that mean, Rob? What are you saying? Are the frets cut tang or full?
This is Rob talking about the tang on a fret. So the tang is the bit of the fret that embeds into the wood.
Tang.
Some frets, the tang goes the whole width of the fret, and then you file it down.
Oh, we can't see that.
Other frets, the tang does not go the full, and therefore it's less likely that the tang will be sticking out. So if you don't like sticky out tang, make sure your frets. I couldn't tell you. I someone at Gibson will know, but I don't know. I'm afraid.
Anderton's saying, "Hey, Rob."
Have you picked up one of those new guitars and thought I'd buy one? Yeah, absolutely. I think about that almost every guitar I pick up in Andertons. To be honest, it's like
I did actually think about this one. This was that.
Yeah. But in the blue is a wicked color.
Yeah.
Or the brown.
I would know. I would have it in this color.
You would go in the blue, wouldn't you?
Because this is almost purple, isn't it?
It's almost Danish Pete signature purple.
DP purple.
What else have we got here?
Signature
Do you know
purple.
the range in, what's that say? In in MHS of neck pickup to the 6?
I thought you were going to say something else.
The range in megahertz? No, I don't know that. Do you know what? I sometimes think to myself, too many people obsess about, what is the specific, impedance of a component, or, like something really, really technical.
Yep.
As if somehow or other, that's going to make them like a guitar or not like a guitar without trying it.
Yes.
And I just like, oh man, it's like all those micro, I really, really cannot stress enough that just because a component with a certain value was used, or a part was used on another guitar that you did or didn't like, it won't mean that you like that on another guitar. You have to accept that a guitar is a sum of all of its parts, and you may or may not like it. Did you just lick that guitar?
Yeah, I just want to taste what it tastes like.
What serial number is that? Because I just need to know that when somebody has got a guitar and they complain that it's been gobbed on.
Got a sick bug.
We know it's,
this serial number is 102590243, and I licked it. It smells so good, man. I can't. Don't play Wonderwall. I'll punch you.
somebody asked for it. I just decided to play it.
Somebody said, "Oh, really?" Somebody said, "Pay extra for me licking it."
Or the super thick gig bag. Oh, good question.
I'll take the gig
whoever
bag.
you were. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier on. We
100% take.
I can tell you that my loft at home, which I think in America maybe you call an attic.
An attic.
But literally like a quarter of my loft has just got guitar cases.
Yep.
And I buy a guitar and it comes with a guitar case and it just goes in the loft and I never see it again. And then I've got one Reunion Blues gig bag.
Yep.
Thank you, by the way, Reunion
Yeah,
Blues. And prior to that, I had different gig bags. But
yeah.
And if I need to go anywhere, I just put my guitar in my Reunion Blues gig bag and go there.
That's it. Yeah. I've got a double Reunion Blues gig bag now, so I can take two guitars with me.
You would, wouldn't you?
Yeah. But it's like I do exactly the same thing, and I see a lot of people going, "Oh, I need to see you, Rob. Love you. Bye."
Is that Rob Chapman? Bye, yeah. Rob. Thanks for watching.
I
didn't even realize that Rob. I totally stole all that pick up that fret tang.
It was
that Rob that asked the question?
Yeah,
about
it was.
the fret
Yeah,
tang?
yeah.
Oh, that would be why, because he was explaining to me yesterday what the difference between different tangs were.
Ting tang.
I made it sound like I was clever. And
Long
I
ting tang.
Stole the idea.
Yeah. So I mean, I see a lot of people going, "I want a case. I want a case. I want a case." But really rarely do you see a guitar player go out to a gig with 4. You know, you just have 2 double cases, 2 like a double gig bag.
Yeah.
Anyway,
can we delete another person who's just posting the same thing over and over again? That's the one.
Well, this one here.
Yeah, it's just the same thing over and over again. Boring. Bye.
Yeah, we don't need any religion stuff. Just
whatever. Just if it's not about Gibson guitars or guitars in general, just it's.
Did Jesus play a Les Paul? Probably not. I don't know.
Is that what he said?
I don't know. That's what he should have said.
He totally, yeah.
He would be an SG.
Then we talk about it.
Jesus would be an SG, man.
So we're going with.
And he'd got long hair.
What religious figure would play what guitar? What would Buddha have played? Actually, we have to be careful here because we're going to call out a religious figure and then we're going to get killed.
Let's not go
hey.
But it's a cool video.
It is a cool video for when we've given up.
The last video we do. Compound chat again.
So,
what's he saying? Enjoy the live streams. Keep going.
Gibson semi-hollows. Yes. So that's a good shout. SGs. We're going to do a live roundup and videos on those next week, probably.
Yeah, when we get them in. Yeah.
All the designer shapes. So Explorer V, Firebird. We'll do that as a separate one. And the 335. Well, all the semi-hollows. There's a really cool. Is it the 235? 235.
Yes, a little one. There's a little.
What was the? Yeah, I think
yeah.
it was
235. No, it's 275.
There was some cool ones.
Yeah.
How would you compare the special Les Paul compared to? Well, we did that about half an hour ago.
Yeah, the videos will be edited either today or tomorrow. Go live as soon as we got them. Somebody's saying fat neck or slim neck. I don't know. I mean, that's up to you. What you like? That is up to what you like. Internet now ask a little question there, Lee. Do you want to say that?
What's that?
That question there. Oh, it's got deleted.
What?
Internet now had it got.
Was it a good question?
I think we've got a moderator moderating this from another place that is not me. I think somebody in the web team.
Smell the same or better than the previous years?
They smell the same. But these smell just so
I think
good.
I can smell the happiness in Gibson that I couldn't smell from last year. So I would say they're better.
The happiness.
They're a mix of nitro and happiness and enthusiasm. Whereas last year it was just it was a smell of nitro and
there's definitely loads of happiness in here.
Depression. I think.
There's a lot of happiness in here. Somebody asking there, Lee, your playing seems to have improved a lot this year. What changed?
Practicing.
You practice
Justin
more.
Sandico,
yeah.
Pete basically.
But telling you not to play the same thing all the time.
All the time. And I think somehow or other, just
somebody said my mouth now smell of it.
Just very consciously trying to stop myself and actually go, what would I sing over? You know, like the best stuff that I think I played, not necessarily the fastest or the most technical, but where I sit and play something and I think, oh yeah, that's cool and a bit different. It's where I come up. There was, I don't know if it was in this video or if one we were doing earlier on, but there was, Pete had a loop going and it was a really simple, but it just really simple thing, but it worked. It was and it was slightly repetitive in the way that you would perhaps sing 3 lines of a verse with the same melody. So you're just doing the same thing, but it's just, but mainly. And
then you get around from there. You find a little melody thing, and then you work your way around that. You know what I mean? I think that is just about doing a loop and just keep playing. Somebody's saying F, G.
But it's very kind. It is very kind of you to say that you think my playing's improved, because some days I think it has, and other days I'm not so sure. But
yeah, but do you get those moments where you feel like, oh, all of a sudden you play much better?
Somebody says, can I show that John Mayer lick? It's So it's you got to find where it fits in the song, but it's a semitone. Sorry, it's a 2 semitone or a tone bend. Tap 3 frets above that, and then it's like it goes back into the bend and comes down at the same time. So, oh, sorry. Is that? There's probably like 1,000 better demos.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm not.
You need lots of gain in there.
Yeah, and now I throw it in everywhere. Now I throw it.
But you also go like.
Well, that's that classic. That's the 5/5. That's the same as I think going. I know. That's the same as doing. Anyway, it's all like old-fashioned rock.
Somebody writes with capital letters. What do you think?
What do you think about the Jared James set 1 P90 in a Les Paul Custom? I tell you what, man, you need to see Jared James play live. He is a modern-day proper performer. Yeah. He's a big, tall guy,
Viking looking,
blonde mane, cool-looking dude. Yeah, and he plays
the
guitar
with
his thumb. And he puts 1 pickup on, and he just kicks its ass.
Yeah,
everywhere.
And he just plays with his fingers, like,
and it works for him. I think single pickup guitars you need to approach a single pickup guitar with the mindset of I am going to get everything that I can out of my fingers and this guitar. It's not necessarily about going, I'll just find the right pedal and combination and the pickup here. And it's just like, just do it all, like literally really, really connect with it. It's a cool guitar. The Epiphone, his Epiphone got a big old neck on it as well.
Yeah, massive neck.
Really? It's just brilliant. The internet is a weird place.
Yeah.
Would to be willing gone?
No. It's cheaper to buy from you and ship back to the US. No. And not easy because it got rosewood.
And to be totally honest with you, we ship bucket loads of pedals all around the world every single day. And I think it's great. It's all good if you're getting a better deal or you like Andertons and you want to do that kind of stuff. Guitars, we do ship guitars around the world.
Yeah.
Not every brand, but some of them, and not to every country, but to some of them.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I always sort of think, you know what? There's so many things that can go wrong in transit with a guitar. It's like, and if you end up, it's fine if you live in Europe because it's so easy. We'll come and get the guitar, send you the replacement. If you live in Australia or whatever like that, it's a big old risk buying a guitar by mail order from anywhere.
Lee, if anyone wants to find out if we ship to their country, like Turkey or Cyprus, is it easier for them to go to our website and put it in the basket?
Yes.
It puts the thing in the basket.
I know. I literally, I can't tell you because how many questions I get. So how much is it to ship here? How much? It's like, I don't know. You physically, it's all based on the size and the weight of your order and where you live. So you go to our website, you go, these are all the things I'd like to buy. Yep. You press the checkout button. Bear in mind, you haven't paid for anything just yet. Press the checkout button, tell the checkout where you live. It then goes, this is how much it's going to cost you. Would you like to complete your order? And then you either go, yes, I would. And then that's the bit you pay for it. Or you just go, no, I wouldn't. And then the end. Anyway, what does it say? Do girls in get? Nah, I nearly read the rest of that before reading it. So,
and also
I suspect some of them do.
Yeah.
But
there was also another one that I thought, can I bring the guitar through the airport? Yes, but can you bring it on a plane? That's a completely different question.
Do you ship to Wales? Do they even have the internet in Wales? Of course we do.
We do smoke signals.
Absolutely one of my favorite places.
Beautiful place, man. I love it.
So yes, we do. Do you lick all the guitars, Pete?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Goodness me, is it 20 to 6? Right, this is like 10 minutes more maybe. Otherwise this video is
Why does this feel slinkier than the other ones, Lee? Can you explain that to me?
Do you mean as in the scale length?
It just feels slinkier.
It's because it's modern and magic, and you licked it. I love you, Lee. Thanks, Commander Web 1. I don't know why, but let's try. Hey, convince Rob to make a Chapman Bass 6. Andertons in Europe, Sweetwater in the USA. It's very flattering to be compared to Sweetwater. I think they've got about 1,000 more staff than we have, and like
they got a slide.
$1 billion.
They've got a slide as well.
But, hey, yeah, we're just Andertons. We're family owned, family run, cool little place.
I would
trying to do their bit.
There you
to
go,
sell.
Halfman Lannister says, like, will you lick my Gibson? Absolutely, bring it in. I'll come and lick your Gibson.
Oh, you're going to have a queue of people outside with grotty guitars. You're going to catch some sort of
I can't catch anything I haven't got already.
Bubonic disease.
Does Greg Koch have a big thumb? Yes.
Does Greg Koch have a? He's just a big guy all around.
He's a big guy.
What were we looking at? That we were watching John Mayer on the internet this morning, weren't we? And commenting how enormous his little finger was. His little finger is bigger than my first finger.
Hey, stop. Somebody says, when will you be declared a national hero of Denmark?
You already are, aren't you?
Well, everybody, just say I could be like a knight of the Danish realm for breaking out and doing something great.
From Denmark.
Yeah.
I thought you were Dutch.
I would definitely go up to the Queen and then go, what's up? And then get my, yeah, man.
There's a sensible question. There's a sensible question I'd like to address.
MBE
How well
in YouTube.
Do these stay in tune? Okay. Now, if you want to buy a guitar that's never, ever, ever going to go out of tune, there are certain models that you should buy and certain models that you shouldn't. And I would put, Les Pauls in the category of perhaps guitars with Floyd Roses and things like that. They are not necessarily a guitar design that is never going to go out of tune. A combination of the angle of the headstock, the way the strings go over the nut, and the way the D and the G string are kind of forced to go over the nut at a sort of an angle to reach the machine head, means that it's just one of those things. You'll often see a Les Paul player just going, oh, just tune a little squeaky bit of the G or the D string, whatever. You absolutely, once if you look after your guitar, well set up, nut well cut, use some nut source lubricant, stuff like that, the amount of retuning that you'll do will be absolutely minimal.
Or just lick it.
You could lick it. I mean, I say I've never, every electric guitar that I've got, I think, you'll play a chord and you go, oh, just do that. But I don't know. I mean, it's not, I think, Leo Fender, genius design, that, the Telecaster headstock, the Telecaster, no moving parts, this end, straight through the nut, straight to the machine head.
Into the thing.
End. Yeah.
Straight in, just turn around, boom.
Arguably a better design for tuning. But it's like, this is an electric guitar. The Les Paul is an electric guitar style that has been around for 70 years. Its shape is such an enduring shape. It's been on every hit record ever, played by every famous guitar player ever. And if it fundamentally wasn't fit for purpose, it would have gone. It's like it would never have been this popular.
No.
And I don't want to change it. People say, why can't we have the taint back? Why can't we have the volute on the back of the headstock? Because
I like the taint on the back
but
there.
It's just like,
but it keeps it from breaking.
Shall I tell you how many Les Pauls that I've broken in my life of owning Les Pauls? None.
Okay, I'll tell you another story. I was on tour.
Yeah.
I had a rack like that with 9 guitars in it.
Yeah.
Up on a riser like this, up probably that high from the floor. So like a meter up or whatever. There's a big curtain. We're doing these outdoor stadium gigs, and every evening, so it doesn't blow around, they would open up the curtains after the show when everybody's out there. And then that was it. So one evening, they open up the curtains. It gets stuck on my gun rack. I think I've told this before. In that gun rack, I had my 335 and my gold top, and it just pulled all of the guitars. So 9 guitars, they just went down, all of them, just on the floor. Bang, smashed on the floor. Nothing broke.
Yeah.
There was dings and dongs.
Yeah.
But there was not
dings and dongs. So as long as the dings was bigger than the dongs.
Anyway, we missed one here.
I'm not going to just to finish that. I'm not going to lie and say that I never see Les Pauls with headstocks that are busted off. Clearly,
it happens
with the angle here. If it falls over the wrong way or the case takes a real whack, it's going to happen. But to put things in context, Andertons you know, a typical year for Andertons, you're talking about Andertons, including Epiphone Les Pauls as well, doing upwards of probably 2,000 Les Pauls a year. Yeah, it's a big number, but you know, if you work that out, it's like 5 or 6 a day, something like that.
Yeah.
I said not all of them will be super expensive, but whatever. And honestly, I probably see, I don't know, 5 or 10 net breaks a year go through the workshop. You know, it's
not a lot.
It's not you guys. I sometimes read comments on the internet.
It's unlucky,
and you think like every single Les Paul's just an accident waiting to happen. It's like it's not at all.
So that's just here. Hellbound is saying you and the guys are huge inspiration, and you have personally helped me, motivate me, pull my finger out and practice. Thank you very much for that.
Well, to be totally honest with you, if Pete and I can get as many people to pull their finger out, that we will have done something positive in our short time on this planet. Or put your finger in. Pull it out or put it in. I don't mind. But just do something with it. Lee, why don't you answer my phone calls? I miss you. I don't know who you are. I intentionally don't answer calls on my phone that I don't know who the number is. How did you even get my phone number anyway?
Because I gave it to them.
AFD 100. There's it. Do you know what? We'll do that. We'll do that just for you at some point in a video. Subscribe to this channel, put the notifications on, and one day you'll see a video.
That seat has asked that about 50 million times.
Yeah, it's fine. I'll do it.
We've used it before.
We have.
It's been in the Soundlike video, I think, as well.
Somebody, I think, again, kept saying, I've applied for a job and never got a confirmation email. Well, I guess one of 3 things has happened there.
That's got nothing to do with us.
Either we never got the email and something bad's happened, or we did get the email and we meant to reply and we didn't, or we just didn't like your CV and we just threw it in the bin. One of the 3 things has happened. Hopefully not the last one. That's a bit mean.
There was a picture of me earlier where I'm licking this headstock here, and I bet you there's going to be a meme of that, Lee.
Do they have a real ABR1 bridges? Yes. Well, no, the standard does.
Yes, but it's not drilled in. It's not drilled straight into the body. It's got a little thing that goes in, and then the thing grows in. Yes, but what people mean is that there's a hole, there's a thing that goes in, then you screw the little bit in there, and then you put the thing on top of that, like that. So it goes in, and then it sticks up, and then you put bricks on top. That's how that works.
What are you talking about? Ha 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 ha. There's various. It's all, you know, on. I tell you what, I'm just going to say, if you guys,
I don't watch somebody asking about my wash. I don't watch
in, you know, personal hygiene matters for Pete and I tell you what, if you can convince a massive, you know, cosmetics firm to endorse Pete and I for hundreds of thousands of pounds a year to wash in certain products, I will tell you, I will reveal all. Right now, all you need to know is that I do wash.
I never wash.
You don't wash.
No.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. But I smell.
There we go.
A little bit like these.
If JC gave you a Gibson guitar, told you to exclusively play Gibson, would you?
I can't.
No,
play anything exclusively.
Oh, you mean you wouldn't?
No, I can't, because what we do here is that I play every guitar. I love every guitar. I would never go exclusive. Would you? It's like, oh, here you can only.
I tell you what would happen. The joy would be removed.
Yes, because
like if somebody said, here you go, here's a full-time salary, like a really good full-time salary for the rest of your life, and all you can do is play Gibson.
Yeah.
I
maybe you think about it.
You would think about it, wouldn't you?
And then behind closed doors, you would play all sort of other guitars.
That's true. But I think, you know, personally as a guitar player, and I'm very, very lucky
to a good question.
Own, you know, half a dozen or so really nice guitars. I have to physically, you know, if I play one of them over and over and over, I get bored of it. And then I play something else a bit, and then I play something else a bit, and then I come back to it and I fall in love with it again. And it's the whole, I will never, you know, I don't want to be that one.
And because of what we're doing here, you can't, you know, you can endorse stuff, and you can say, you know, you play that and you play this, but you can exclusively playing one thing as a guitar player. It's like going to a guy and saying you can only use this one hammer for the rest of your life to go and build loads of. I mean, do you know what I mean?
I am that guy. I've got one hammer and one screwdriver that I have to mend everything with.
Yes, but you shit at it. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
You don't need to do anything else than hammer.
I tell you the other thing as well is that I
buy a Tesla.
I love the fact that in the guitar world there is no possible way to say that something is better than something else.
No.
Like if you were selling technology, like if you have a computer and one goes, well, this one has more memory and more speed and a bigger screen, and it is absolutely undeniably better than the other one.
Yeah.
Whereas in the guitar world, you can't even say that a £99 Squire is better than a £5,000 custom shop guitar, because it's just like, it's just subjective. It's just what that person likes.
Yeah.
Same with music. You know how people talk about one style of music being better than another.
Yeah, I like metal, I like blues, I like, people
physically
have got
not
different
possible.
tastes. Some people don't like apples, some
All
people
forms,
like apples.
It's all art, and all art is subjective, except for Europop, which physically should be banned, and all copies of anything Europop
When you say that,
deleted.
but that's your opinion, Lee.
No,
you're right
fact.
to.
That is fact.
Opinion are like nipples. I've actually got 3 nipples. I'm not going to show you.
Opinions are like buttholes. Everyone's got one.
Everyone's got one, and some of them really stink.
That's a good one. Oh, Ben Wright, come on, man.
Did you see John Mayer? He pulled his shirt up. He said he had a 3rd nipple under here. And you know what? I've got exactly the same. And one day I'll show you. I've got exactly a 3rd nipple, the same place as he's got a 3rd nipple. It's the tone nipple.
It's the tone nipple. Tone nipples. I might definitely patent that and sell them.
The tone. Boycott Eurovision. Yes, please.
No, I'm going to a Eurovision party. I'm going to a Eurovision party. And that is
I quit. I quit. I'm off.
Actually, one of my bucket list dreams is to go to the Eurovision Song Contest one year. Stand with all the people.
So I'm really sorry for you.
I don't.
Well, it makes so much sense now.
I don't take it too seriously.
It makes so much sense.
Anyway.
Okay. I'm not going to say it because I got friends in Denmark that writes for the Eurovision, and it's, you know, it is a job and they make good money. Anyway, whatever. Whatever.
12 points for Denmark.
Yeah.
Are they even there this year? Well, I don't know. I'm asking you. You don't like it.
I don't.
When am I opening a shop in the US? Oh man, got to be honest with you. It's a very attractive proposition, but I think the reality is, it's like, you know, I'm a big believer in work-life balance. And I get more than enough joy, pleasure, and remuneration out of running this business than the need to run around and do everywhere else and stress myself out. And anyway, I just want to sit in here and jam with my friend.
Oh, I like this one. That's a good guitar, man. I really enjoy playing this.
I
want to sit here as well.
We have to save. Well,
outro jam, exactly, because it is time. It is 10 to 6.
Let's just jam.
Let's just an hour and 37 minutes.
It's a long old one, this one, isn't it?
An hour and 37 minutes.
I'll tell you what, then, for the final jam, Petey.
So we play something. So we play Fenders.
do a loop, and we'll do like 60 seconds on each guitar.
But what kind of loop do you want?
Something easy to play over.
Oh God!
In whatever key you like. Maybe I might even throw some other guitars into this last loop, so you can hear. That's a shout. I might even get a Strat and just do it. Oh, I like it. I like it.
Let's see if I still got the loop going on that
Anyway, thank you guys for watching. We're going to jam out now, and at some point fade this to nothing or just run away.
Somebody say buy a Tesla. I would love to buy a Tesla. Or if you would like to give me a Tesla, I will also take one for free.
If you're watching, we'll swap you any one of the Les Pauls in this room, except for my 58.
I will swap you so much more than that for a Tesla, Elon.
There's a deal. That is a deal.
I will swap you lots of stuff. Purple Telecaster? Maybe not. See you later.
Thanks for watching. Remember, subscribe to the Andertons channel. Loads of videos on these guitars. Of course, lots of other guitars as well. If we didn't answer the question that you had on the Les Paul, dive on over to the Andertons website. If you can't find the answer there, just use the contact form to email the question into us, and we will get back to you because we're good like that. That's it. Oh, nice. What are you doing? This is the goodbye song. It's the goodbye song. Woo!
Sweet Home Alabama. Hey! It is spicy.
I don't even know what key I'm supposed to be playing.
G.
I'm getting gainy on my next one. You know what? Just throwing it in there. You should get the purple telly.
You really want me to get it?
I was waiting for that. I was waiting for it. Next one.